with Liz Walker. She is a real estate maven, and you have seen her smiling face on so many posters out there and photos. And I'm wondering why. How come we see you everywhere? What are you doing out there?
Well, I'm selling houses.
Well, perfect. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you
I'm
very
selling
much.
houses. So the market's good.
The market is really good, and this is a great place to sell homes because so many people love Sugarloaf, so it's pretty easy to talk about something that you love.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of people are from away that buy properties. We do have people from Maine that are buying second homes in this area, but there are a lot of people from other states as well, and that's why marketing is so important online.
What are you doing differently?
Well, you really need to be able to reach out to different people from different areas, and you know, doing that. Social media is pretty hot right now. Instagram, Facebook, you know, those kinds of things. But you just have to be able to have a lot of pictures, market the properties really well, so that people from away can see them online, and then because a lot of people shop online for properties, check them out, you know, see what they're all about, get information on them, and then they contact a broker and come up to this area, and they kind of want the shotgun effect. They want to be able to come up and look at, you know, 10, 12 properties in a day and choose which one that they want. And
choices.
Yeah. So it's important to just kind of reach out to different markets.
Well, I noticed when I did Google you that you came up and populated the entire page.
Right. And
so
that's from
important.
it is important, and that's from hitting many different search engines, Trulia, Yahoo, Google, the social media ones. But I've connected with somebody who has a drone. You have to have a license to use drones, to do drone photography, aerial photography.
Sure.
And that makes a huge difference in this area because it really gives you an idea of where the condo or where the house is positioned, whether it's next to the Carrabassett River or if it's on West Mountain. You get a pretty good idea of, oh, you know, we're that close to the chairlift. We can ski in, ski out of this property, or you know, we're that close to the Carrabassett River and we want to be over on Ira Mountain or whatever it may be. It gives you an idea of the demographic of where the property is located. So
now this is not a toy drone. I know who you're speaking of, and he's licensed and he's experienced, and I know that there's probably a plethora of people with drones out there, but yours is the legal one, the licensed one.
Right, and it has to be licensed. It has to be
use
legal.
For commercial, right?
Yeah, to use it for the real estate. And you know, real estate brokers, we have so many laws and regulations that we have to abide by. So it's important that we have somebody that's licensed, or otherwise you wouldn't be able to use the photography.
That's a good point. I wanted to ask you, in that same vein as talking about law and its effect to buyers, what is the CFPB?
That is the Consumers Financial regulations that we have to stand by. It's the Protection Bureau for the consumers' financials. And what that is, and what it makes the difference to anybody for, is that there's a whole bunch of laws that were just passed in October, and it changed the purchase and sale agreement. And we used to be able to close on properties within 30 days. Now you can expect to close on a property in about 60 days. And they've changed a lot of the regulations, like fuel reimbursement. You used to be able to decide, is the buyer going to pay for the fuel or is the seller going to pay for the fuel that's left in the tank? Well, now it's a stipulation that the buyer has to reimburse the seller for the fuel that's in the tank. There's no negotiation on that. And that's an item, it's a proration that happens on the purchase and sale, and it has to be prorated within 3 business days of the closing. You used to be able to get that proration right on the closing date and add it into the HUD, which is the closing statement. But you have to have that proration in advance now. And there's a lot of things that you have to have in advance on the purchase and sale. And that's why it's important to use a real estate broker when you go through this process, because there are a lot of laws and things that you may not think of or may not know about unless you have somebody that is up on the laws. And that
it could cost you some money.
Yeah, it could cost you some money.
Why are we seeing some of these changes?
It's just, it's to protect people.
Right.
Is all it is. It's just a change to protect people. And there's, you know, they have to regulate it. They have to, you know, update these laws all the time to change things because somebody got in trouble somewhere and somebody had a problem with something somewhere. So they, you know, it's just to protect people is all it is. And if you're with a licensed broker like myself, whether you're buying or selling a house, you know, we have insurance that protect us and we have lawyers that protect us, and that's all included in our commission that you pay us. And it guarantees that you'll have a smooth transaction and that you won't have to deal with any kind of headaches down the road.
Because there's a lot of the fine print, so to speak.
Yeah.
Stay with us, Liz Walker, and we're going to talk more about real estate and some of the properties and open house that you have coming up as well. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be back with more here on